Hi and welcome to the FreeFormKnits YouTube channel. I'm Haxann Evers, the knitter and crocheter's freeform ways of crafting love to the world to design. All the places you can find me will be listed down below this video. Thank you so much for stopping by and crafting with me today. If you're new, please take a moment to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos. And if you're returning, thank you so much for stopping by and crafting with me again. So we are August 30th and I have not a lot to talk about this week. I am coming back to you a week later from my last podcast, so good for me. I'm managing to schedule properly. So we'll just jump right in. I actually have one finished object, technically two, but I'm going to save it to talk about with some design talk. So we'll just jump right into my first finished object. My first finished object was, I must have cast it on right after I finished the podcast last week. I finished it really quickly and it was just something I really wanted to make, and I thought I brought up the rest of the skein, but I did not. So all I have is the finished object itself. And here it is. It's this teeny tiny baby sweater. This is I have the pattern, get the name right. The Newborn Vertebrae. I always call it something else. Newborn Vertebrae, designed by Kelly Van Nykirk. And I'll have it on the screen to make sure I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, because that's how I do things. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, and I made a few modifications. So I did not check gauge. I think it's supposed to be knit with fingering weight yarn. I knit mine out of a DK to worsted. I don't remember the yarn I used. I know it's a yarn bee, but I'm not sure of what content it is, what line it is, but it's super sparkly. I'm pretty sure it's a mixture of acrylic and cotton, and it's really sparkly, and it's just this marled pink, which I love. I'm obsessed with it. And I just wanted something really quick to cast on and use up that yarn because it was so pretty, and I just really wanted to see how it would knit up. So it is a variegated yarn, so you could see that my sleeves don't match because I knit one and then I knit the other, and it was just different places in the repeat, which is fine. And then once I cast on, I didn't follow the pattern because I knew my gauge didn't match, my sweater would turn out different from the pattern, so I just really took the numbers to start with and went until I decided it was enough. But because of that, I misdid the collar. I did it wrong. You were supposed to just pick up all around and do a 1x1 ribbed collar, but I did one side, did the other side, realized what I did, and then just did a stockinette for the collar. So, which is fine. It's just a little baby sweater. I think I knit it on a 7, so a 4.5 millimeter. And that's my only finished object. And I don't remember all the details about it, but isn't this yarn so pretty? I want to get another skein and just do something with it because I need something in this colorway. But that's my finished object. So we'll move right along into whips. My next finished object I cast on yesterday and I finished it. Oh, I didn't finish it. I said finished object. It's a whip. It's a work in progress. So I saw on Instagram that Julie of Twin Stitches Design and Denise of the Earth Sounds Girl podcast, they're doing another one of their 1 week sock challenges. And I saw that and realized that it was time to finally knit the DK socks I've been planning to knit. So here's my first one. It is in a DK weight yarn. I think it's Soft Secret, which is supposed to just be a 100% acrylic, but it's got a different feel to it. It's very similar to a Caron Simply Soft, and I don't know, even though it says on the label the fiber content's 100% acrylic, I'm not sure what about the yarn that is different, how it's treated that makes it super shiny and just has a different feel than like the I Love This Yarn brand or anything. But that's the sock. And this is the yarn and needles I'm using. I'm using my Knit Picks needle on a US 5. I'm following the numbers for my Delightful Knit sock pattern, which is my DK weight sock pattern, but I am doing this sock toe up. I'm planning to write up my toe up sock recipe. I've found how I like to make my toe up socks and how they differ from my cuff down socks. So that is what I'm doing with this pair. And I haven't cast on the second one because I want to do a tutorial for you about my super simple toe cast on. I don't use Judy's magic cast on or the Turkish cast on. I think those are the two most popular for toe up socks because I always manage to mess them up. I don't know why. I just always do. So I just made a really quick hack to how to get a nice toe without those cast-ons. So I want to film a tutorial about that, and then I'll also do a tutorial on my how I do the heel for my toe-up socks. It's just a German short row heel, and that's it. And I've decided I like the sewn bind off. Just a simple sewn bind off for the cuff. Or maybe, I don't know, do I like the sewn bind off or don't I? I can't decide if I like it. I think I do, because it allows the rib to stretch, it doesn't flare out, and it doesn't pull in. So I think I like it. I'm still debating. But that is my DK weight sock, and I have these stitch markers on it, so I can make the other one. And this one's super pretty. It's from Knit Picks. One of their, it had a name. They have these enamel markers of different stones, and it's just so pretty. So that's that work in progress, and I just have to make the next one. So it'll be a finished object soon enough. I have the two whips that I was talking about last time, and we'll start with the sweater whip. And I did transfer it into a bag, a nice big sweater bag. I am knitting the Unity sweater, a pattern by Danny Sunshine. It's another free pattern on Ravelry. It's got color work on the yoke of these nice big stars, and I did both sleeves, not just one sleeve, but both sleeves. I did it, and I actually did the sleeves directly to pattern because I decided that I'm pretty certain this is going to be oversized on me anyway, and that I want the sleeves to be, I don't mind if they're big oversized sleeves like you would get with like a big store-bought sweatshirt, you know what I'm talking about. So I just did them to pattern because I usually modify my sleeves for my pullovers, but I decided not to. So it was really simple, and yeah, I'm really happy with them. They're nice and pretty. So for each sleeve, I just started a new skein of yarn. So for one sleeve, I started a new skein, and for the other sleeve, I did a new skein, and now I'm using those skeins to knit the body because I would rather switch skeins on the body than switch skeins in the sleeve. And I have a lot left over from the body, so this is the yarn I'm working with now. I think these skeins are 140 grams each skein. I should probably tell you the yarn I'm using for the sweater. It's Yarn Bee ID, and the purple is the Thistle colorway. And then the stars are just, I love this yarn in the white. So it's just, the white yarn is 100% acrylic. Purple yarn is 80% acrylic and 20% polyamide, and yeah, it's 142 grams per skein. And I had like, I'm forgetting now, I think 70 grams left of the skein, so I only use around upwards of 60 for each sleeve. My math is off. I can't think apparently, but I was surprised to learn that because I always think sleeves take more than they actually do. But now I'm just knitting the body, and I'm a little worried. I'm worried, but I can't do anything about it. I think in certain light you can tell that I've switched colors, like the dye lots are a little bit different, but I can't exactly fix that because I've already used up one entire skein just for the yoke, and then broke into another skein for one sleeve, broke into another skein for the next sleeve, and now I'm just knitting the body in those leftover skeins. But I can kind of, I can see where the dye lot shifts. You can't on camera, and you probably can't in person. Like if you're looking at it straight on, you won't be able to tell, but I know, but I can't fix it. And even if I could, I don't know that I would. So it's bugging me a little bit, but not enough to actually do anything about, because mostly because I can't do anything about it because I don't have any left of the first skein. Had I realized that this was going to do that, I mean, I should have realized it was going to do that because it's a sweater. The different skeins, different dye lots, even if it is a bigger brand, not indie dyed yarn. I should have planned for that, but I didn't. So if I'm upset, I can't blame no one but myself. But it's okay. I probably won't care once it's completed and I forget where I've joined. It's very obvious to me. But again, I know it's there. I don't think anyone else will know it's there. So that is the Unity sweater by Danny Sunshine. I'm knitting mine on a 9, which is a 5.5 millimeter. And that's my first work in progress. No, my second work in progress. I showed you my first. Yeah. I'm just chipping away at the body there. Because it's nice vanilla knitting. I think I want to get that done this week. I'm pretty sure that's going to be one of my crafting goals of the week. My next crafting goal will be completing another chart on my double knit sweater. So this is a project bag made by me. Nice little bunnies. I'm knitting the Road to Source Hollow scarf. Another free pattern on Ravelry. I can't recall the designer's name. Right, I think Rebecca something or other. It'll be on the screen. And I completed another chart. So I have a goal, 1 chart a week. I should have it done within 8 weeks. And here it is. It's Gilmore Girls themed. Let me tell you, this snowflake chart, it looks pretty. It was so annoying to make. Not annoying. It was just really hard to, not hard, a mind bender. You know, so that's the word that comes to mind, the phrase that comes to mind every time I talk about this project. It's a mind bender. I have to look at the chart. I have to, I have to do one color, this many stitches in this color, this many stitches in the next color, and then when you're working back, I have to flip it in my head. It's hard, but it is rewarding because look at this beautiful snowflake. I'm so happy with it. So, and the next chart is pretty simple, much more simpler, I think. It's a free pattern, so I'm not giving anything away, but it's this dragonfly, which if you watch Gilmore Girls, you know, dragonfly, so it should be much easier to do this chart, and plus it's not as long. It's only 30 rows. I think this one was about 40. So that's another goal for this week, doing another repeat of that. And the yarn I'm using is Yarn Bee Baby Bee. Yeah, Yarn Bee Baby Bee Sweet Delight in the Angel and Airplane colorways. So Angel, Airplane. And that's the front. And this is the back. I do love how that snowflake looks. It was worth it because it does look really good. And I'm knitting mine on a size 7, right? Yes, size 7, 4.5 millimeter. Yep. Just keep it all tucked in my bag. I'm gonna have to get new skeins soon because well, not yet. It's always hard to tell with the skeins. I'm pulling from the inside, so the skeins are collapsing on themselves, which makes me fear for tangles, but it's okay. It'll be fine. I have more yarn. I can untangle. It'll be okay. Those are all my works in progress. I do have plans for casting on more works in progress very soon, possibly right after this podcast. I have plans to cast on a lot more things. I really want a good crochet whip on the needles. On the hook. I have plans for, I want to make a crochet sweater, but I'm not sure. Oh, just so many different things that I want to create, and I'm not sure which one to do first. So, but I'll figure it out. So for design talk, I do have a few things to talk about. So an update on my garter stitch sock collection that'll be coming in September. I talked about last week how the skipping stone socks were already in testing, and they are completed in testing now, so the pattern's all ready to go. This is my skipping stone sock. It's got this great, very simple garter texture all on it. And then the last two socks I have to go through testing are the Tripping Hazard and Kick Strip. So Tripping Hazard, I've already got testers for. The testing has started. And it's just such a fun zigzag texture. I love it so much. And then this week I'm going to be focusing on getting the Kick Strip socks ready for when their test starts. So if you ever want to be a tester for any of my upcoming patterns, I have a email list down below specifically for testers. On that email list, you put in your email address, and whenever I need testers, you get an email telling you about the test. And if you want to join in, you just follow the instructions on the email. If you don't want to join in, you can just delete the email. Signing up for the testing list does not mean you have to agree to every test that comes up, but it's just a way for you to never miss an opportunity to test. So this is my garter stitch collection socks. Be sure you're following me on my newsletter, which is also down below, and on Instagram, so that you can hear the updates on how to get these patterns, because I'm going to have a pre-order going up very soon. So yeah, so you can get these patterns at discounts. So be sure that you're signed up for all those. Be sure you're following me on Instagram and on my newsletter, so that you don't miss any updates concerning these, because I love them so much. They're such fun sock patterns. The whole point of this collection was to just have very simple texture socks, because I love a good garter stitch texture. And they're just perfect in my eyes. I love them so much. So that's the updates concerning that. And then the other design that is a finished object, I did this in less than an evening. It was super fast. So a few weeks ago, I released my Beyond the Double collection, which is a collection of crochet cowls instructing you how to expand your crochet skills, essentially learning new stitch patterns to get beyond just double crochets and half double crochets and single crochets. So one of the cowls in that collection is the tower cowl, and it's one of my favorites. I just love how this lace stitch looks. I love how it shows off the yarn. It's just such a fun stitch to do. It's so good. And I had an idea to use that stitch again in a shawlette, and this is the tower shawlette. It's essentially a cowl in the shape of a shawl, which is why I called it a shawlette. So you just throw it on like a cowl, but it wears like a shawl. It's perfect, and it's got this fun fringe that you can add or not. And by the time you're seeing this video, this pattern should be out. It'll be available for free on my blog, or you can buy the PDF version, get the download in my Ravelry shop. If you are signed up to my newsletter, you should have gotten a coupon code to get that PDF download for free. That's another reason to sign up for my newsletter. You get exclusive coupon codes, sometimes free patterns. So you should definitely sign up for that if you aren't already, so you don't miss out on any future patterns like this. And I also have on my YouTube channel a whole video talking about my design process for this shawl, how I came up with it, how I worked it out, just a design with me video that should be live on my channel now, so I'll have that listed down below as well. And that's my last finished object for this week, and I just love it. The reason for this shawlette was I just found this yarn and I thought it was so pretty, and all I could think of was how the speckles and the pinks, it just reminded me of the tower cowl, and I just wanted to use that stitch pattern again. So I love it so much. I think I've said that plenty of times, but yeah, that's my last finished object. So that concludes all I have to talk about this podcast. Not a lot, but a fair amount, I think. Like I said, I have so many different ideas of things I want to cast on. I have the yarn prepared for either a sweater design or a cardigan design. I'm not sure if I did a cardigan. I have this idea for a knit cardigan that I want to do, but I also have this idea for a crocheted sweater I want to do, and I'm not sure which one I'm going to do. So I've just been tossing that back and forth in my head. I also have some One Skein Wonder projects planned, and just a lot of ideas for projects I want to cast on. So the next time I podcast, I might have a lot more to show you in terms of things I've cast on without any regard. So I think I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you so much for stopping by and crafting with me today. If you've made it this far in the video, please comment down below what you are crafting on. I would love to hear about it. I know that when I'm watching podcasts, I'm always trying to finish or start something new on my needles or hooks. So tell me what you are crafting on, and be sure to like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Until next time, Happy crafting!